Go ahead.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. This is week 16 of our lesson series, 4 months already. Thank you all for joining me. And just to get started, we've got it right in front of you. It's life outside. So the last 3 weeks, we've been talking about the building blocks of profitable trading. And, I kind of gave you guys a step-by-step guide of what I would highly recommend. It's exactly what I did to go from not profitable to consistently making a profit, And after all that, I was thinking about what I wanted to do next, and I kind of decided that I wanted to step away a little bit. I see a lot of guys, we talk about over trading, we talk about getting too involved in the market, wanting to learn as much as you can. And I was thinking about what made the difference in my life between being obsessed or consumed by that mentality to no longer really caring. Right? Still doing what I'm supposed to, showing up, trading, journaling, but not caring as much, right? There's the book by, I believe, Mark Manson, I don't, or something to not give a fuck. I'm messing up the title of the book, but I'm sure a lot of you guys know who I'm talking about. It's just to stop caring as much, and that's what this week's focus is on. It's life outside the market. So we'll get straight into it. I've got a question for everybody. You're more than welcome to just, if anything, I'd recommend you take a screenshot of what I have here and then kind of reflect on it after today's lesson. Just read through everything I have written here, but we're going to go over it live. So the question is, who are you? To have a reason, to have a purpose. So trading in and of itself is this unfeeling, lifeless mechanism that you click a couple buttons and you either make money or you lose money. That's all it is. It's not somebody out to get you. It's not a casino where they have the edge over you. That's a misconception. The market does not have an edge over you. It is completely 50-50. There is nothing to give the market an edge over you. That's not true. Casino, it's different, right? So if you have this thing where there's really no joy out of it, because if you make some money, you might feel a little good for a little bit, but then as soon as you lose that money, it's going to feel bad, right? And even if you don't lose the money, it's never going to be enough. That's been proven time and time again. It'll never be enough. So if our goal in it is to make money, which is not bad, if the goal is to make money, right, then why would we want to get wrapped up in the idea of keeping that money when we know that we can lose it just as easily? We can lose it just as easily as we make it. So let's talk about having joy in other people. Since trading is, by definition, it's a 1v1, right? I shouldn't say a 1v1, right? Because you're not going against the market, but it's a solo job. There's nobody else here. And even if you talk with other traders, which a lot of people have issues with because everybody thinks their strategy is the right one, and that theirs is the only one that works, even if it's not working for some reason. So it's very difficult to have friends without getting it wrapped up in your head that you should make a change. So when we talk about join others, it's very important that, hey, if people are going out and if you've ever said this, which I'm guilty of, but I want you to stop and think, have you ever said, I can't go out, I have to backtest? Or, you make some excuse because you think you should be studying the markets. If you find yourself doing that, it's a very, very obvious sign that you are too enveloped by the market. That you have this, tight hold on the market that it's someday going to bring this happiness and this joy that it's just not going to. It can bring money, and it can bring some purpose, but it's not going to be everything. And we place far, far too much, level of satisfaction in our accomplishment of trading that's just not real. This doesn't exist. You're not going to get that by getting more payouts, by getting more accounts, by having greater withdrawals. It's not going to happen. If you are lacking when it comes to, financially, well then not only is trading not going to help you with that, but it's going to make it worse. Because again, it's been proven time and time again, if you're trying to trade and you are unable to pay your bills and you're putting in the back of your head, man, I just need this payout and it'll really save me. The odds of you actually getting to that payout are so much less than if you just didn't care. Even if you do everything the exact same, or it seems like you do, the chance that you get that payout, or the chance that you actually do everything the same, when you have that weighing on the back of your head, is going to greatly diminish the returns, and it's not going to happen. It's just not. It may happen once, but it's not going to happen again, and it's definitely not going to take you from a point of not being able to pay the bills to paying all the bills because you're a profitable trader. That's just not real, okay? I'm trying to think about the things I'm saying, right? And then reflect on it in a way of, does this sound like you? Does this sound like me? Does this sound like anybody you know? And if so, what are the proper steps to change? And then the second thing I have is join yourself. So I started with joy with others because that's a little bit easier. Join yourself is something that I think a lot of us struggle with, and maybe especially as traders, because I find that a lot of people who want to get into this field typically do it because A, they think, well, I can get rich. Very few people get into it and stay into it because they think they can get rich quick. Okay, that's kind of the common reason that people get into trading is they can get rich quick. But everybody who's listening to me right now, they no longer believe in the get rich quick idea, but they still believe they can get rich, which is, I'm not saying you can't, but what I'm saying is, if that's the reason that you're trading, right, to get rich, to make money, whatever, most likely it's not because you want something. It's most likely because you want to show other people that you were able to do this, or that you were able to show other people that you could buy this, or you were able to accomplish this, right? And that's where we lack joy in ourselves. We're no longer doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for other people who, in all reality, don't really give a fuck. Even if we did it, they probably wouldn't care. So join yourself. I ask you to just sit there and think, when was the last time, whether it be video games, whether it be, I'm going to read right what I have here, a hobby, reading, watching TV, video games, like I said, anything like this, again, like I have it written, it sounds counterintuitive, right? The idea of, well, why would I not focus on trading to get better at trading, right? That doesn't sound like it makes sense, but let's break it down. What are we actually doing? Well, if we know for a fact that the more trades we place, or a higher frequency of trades, leads to lower results, right? The more trades you have, the odds of you making money diminishes, right? This is a real statistic. That's why the greater traders are investors, but they have a lot of money, and then it goes to swing traders and then day traders, unfortunately, just because they have greater sums of money and their risk management is so much less because they're not placing as many trades, right? So if we step away from the market and we say, hey, today looks like a bad day, or I didn't get a setup today, or any other number of reasons, why would we continue to sit on the markets and just try and force a trade? Wouldn't we be better off to go do something completely separate and save the money that we would have lost? I feel like that kind of makes sense. So instead of looking at it as, well, I'm going to avoid trading to get better at trading, look at it as, I'm going to take the proper steps to not throw away money or take low probability trades, and rather do something I enjoy, so that when I come back into the market tomorrow, I'm not only going to be fresh, but I'm going to be a little happier because I got to do something I enjoyed instead of sitting in front of a computer, and now I can take the proper trades. Okay, so I'm going to hold it there. Again, take screenshots of this, go back, read through it, reflect, journal. I'm a very big advocate of people journaling and reading. So, give you a few seconds, and then we're going to move forward. Why? Why do you trade? We already kind of covered this before, but I put this in here just to really, really focus on it and ask, I want mostly for you guys to ask yourself, but why do you trade? Do you trade for money, right? And again, I already went over this, but we'll go over it briefly. If your main goal in trading is money, what's going to happen, 100%, what will happen is when you make that money, you're going to get a sense of euphoric. You're going to think, yay, I did it, I accomplished it, congratulations. And then you're going to lose that money, inevitably. You may not lose it all, you may not be in the red, you may not be in an overall drawdown, but you will lose some money. And now when this happens, the chance of that euphoria still sitting there, you still saying, well, I made some money, so it's okay if I lose a little. In the beginning, as we grow, this will change, but in the beginning, the odds of you still feeling good after losing is extremely low. I know this for a fact from myself and the dozens of other traders that I have been friends with or worked with or whatever it may be, and seen how they react to losses. Those losses hurt way more than those winners feel good. It just happens to be that way because our goal is to make money. So we expect to make money. If we expect to make money and we make money, cool, expectation met. If we expect to make money and we lose money, not only was our expectation not met, but because we lost money, now we feel even worse because we have to make that back and then a little more just to meet our initial expectations. And then freedom. Nice, short, simple. How free is someone whose job can lose them money? This is not talking about, it's impossible to be a full-time trader, but it is saying if you are in the stage where maybe you have a few funded accounts, maybe you have a few, past, PA accounts, maybe even a couple withdrawals, but you're not living off your trading, right? We're not there yet. And you think, well, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go be a full-time trader because I think I can make it. I think I figured it out. I got this. I can promise you from personal experience, every single month that goes by that you didn't make money or that you lost money is going to hurt so much worse than if you had just kept that dead-end job or whatever it may be. You can hate that job, but it's going to feel so much better when you can go out and spend a little extra money because you don't have to worry about your bills, right? Or you don't have to worry about investing in your trading a little bit more because you have that guaranteed income. So take your time with this freedom aspect. If you have enough money or you've gotten to the point where you can say, yeah, I can go for a year with no income, then you can start to look and say, hey, okay, maybe I give this trading thing a shot. You've shown you've got payouts, all this, but you also need that financial backing of saying, hey, if I don't make money this year, I'm going to be okay. Not just I'll have no money at the end of the year, but at least I can pay my bills for 12 months. I'm talking you end the 12 months, you didn't make any money, you only paid your bills, and you still have some money, and you got to say, all right, I guess I have to go find a job. I wasn't quite ready. But this is the reality of becoming a full-time trader. It's not something that you wake up the next day and boom, you've got all this money in your account. It's just not real. That doesn't exist. If you're a meme coin trader and you get lucky on a meme coin, that's a different thing. We're not talking about that. But for anybody who's an actual trader, that does not exist. And then status. Again, I talked about this in this slide right here. Join others, join yourself. If you're trading for other people so you can show them that you did it or you accomplished something, that's status. That's trading for status. That's trading so that you can say, hey, I did it. Maybe you have some complex, and I'm not calling anybody out specifically. If anything, I'm calling myself out because, I'm the one writing this stuff, giving it to you guys. But, if you're trading for some reason and you have this complex that everybody put you down, everybody said you couldn't do it, you should go to college, whatever it may be, and then you accomplish it, or a little bit, I promise it's really not going to feel that great. Maybe for a little, might feel great for a second, but after maybe a day, possibly less, it's going to kind of lose its magic and you're going to go right back to where you were, because guess what? You didn't go anywhere. Getting that payout is a great goal. Getting to be a full-time trader is a great goal. Getting to a funded account, even smaller than both those, is a great goal, but these are not the end goal. None of it is the end goal. It's our job, we show up and we do it, and as soon as you accomplish one of these things, if your only reason for accomplishing it was to show other people who really have no interest in it at all, it's just going to make it feel that much less, because you're going to realize you didn't really care about it, and you were just doing it to show people who didn't care. Okay, again, I'm going to move on to the next slide, take a screenshot of this. I have this here so you guys can reflect on it, review, journal, whatever it may be, take notes. So I'm going to move on in 3, 2, 1, and last question for today, I believe. Last question for today. If you lost trading, what would you do? It's a real question. For a lot of you guys, I know many of you have jobs, right? But there's still a lot of us in here who, trading is kind of the end goal for us. We want to make trading our full-time job. If you lost it, what would you do? Do you have a backup plan? Now, this doesn't mean, that you should give in to the idea that it's not possible or that you should, plan for it to fail. I'm not saying any of that. I took multiple years of my time at great risk that I wouldn't recommend anybody do. But I got really, really lucky. I got really, really lucky a lot. Over and over and over. And only then was I able to get to here. And I'm still not at the end goal, right? I'm still not, I still work at a kitchen because I enjoy cooking. I love cooking. And I have trading as a side income. And I use my cooking income to pay all my bills, right? That's the system I have up, right? I use that income, pay the bills. Trading, boom, it goes into a savings account. That's the system I have set up because I'm not ready to say, hey, I don't need, I can go months and months and months with no additions to my savings and no additions to my bills. I'm going straight through the savings, right? I'm not there yet. Mentally, I'm not comfortable with that. Whether I could do it or not is not up to debate. It's just I'm not comfortable with it. So if I lost trading, all that's going to do for me is say, all right, well, I guess, it sucks because I don't enjoy, or I do enjoy it. So, I'm going to lose something that I enjoy doing every day. But I'm only going to lose a little bit of side income. My savings, it's not going to grow as much. And, I'm going to have to look for a different career, I guess. It's not the end of the world. But for a lot of guys here, if you lost trading, kind of don't know where to go. So I'm not saying look for other avenues, but I'm letting you know to look at yourself and ask, well, hey, if I lost trading tomorrow and it's just gone, the market's gone, or they don't allow you to buy more funded accounts, whatever, whatever the situation may be, stop and think, is the only reason that you're trading so you can make more money and it's not really bringing you any joy? And if you lost it, the only thing that you're holding on to is kind of gone, right? Like this, it's kind of an extreme idea, but seriously, ask yourself if that's where you're at, because not too long ago, that's exactly where I was at. And there were periods of times when I couldn't trade and it drove me nuts. And it was only through those times that I had to sit back and realize how bad it was and say, all right, maybe I need to stop trading. I've talked about this before, but the biggest revelation I made in trading, like personally, was the 6 months that I took away from trading, right? Or I should say funded trading. I took 6 months and I just traded crypto. I traded crypto at $1 a trade. It was enough that I could consistently trade the same amount every time, but it was so little that I knew the only reason I was placing that trade was so that I could follow my rules. It was the only reason. Because I knew if it ran to 5R, I was going to make $5. It didn't make a difference. It literally would barely pay for a coffee. So, and that's an excellent trade, running to 5R. I mean, that doesn't happen very often, at least with the way I trade. So for 6 months, I said, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to trade. There's a 0% chance that I make any money, really. At most $20, because that's 20R, right? So I did it, and then when I came out of it, I realized how little the profit from trading really mattered to me. Because this is me personally, I just enjoyed trading. But then I also realized, well, hey, if I decide that I'm not going to trade today, it didn't matter. Because it was only $1, $2, $3. So when I went back to futures, I had to keep that same mentality. I said, hey, if I don't want to trade today, I'm not gonna, because it's not going to matter. Because this one day, even if it runs to 5R, boom, if I'm risking $100 trade, that's $500 on my, account, whatever. You know how many 5R trades there are going to be in the months or years to come? There's going to be a lot. And I can guarantee you're not going to remember this one day that you didn't show up. If you make it a habit, now you have a problem. We want good habits. But don't make it a habit that you have to be there. Okay? So I'm going to pause there. Reality, do we have anything? I haven't really been checking the chats.
Anybody got any questions, guys?
Any questions, comments, any concerns? Let's see. I see Klebsio's typing. Reality, real quick, what do we have over in the YouTubes and the different streaming platforms?
We got 6 on YouTube. We got 1 on Rumble, 1 on Twitch. Nothing on Kick, which isn't unusual, but there's a lot in the server itself. It says,
yeah, I'm seeing that.
Man Bear Bull says, how do you determine when to step away?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Personally, I keep it down to a few things. So the first thing is if I am ever invited to any social event, anything, it doesn't matter if it's family, friends, even if it's people I really don't enjoy. If I'm ever invited to a social event and it interrupts my trading, I will never put trading above that. Never. I do that for a very specific reason, because I know, for me personally, I can be a very social and charismatic person. I can be. But naturally, I am very, very antisocial. I'm a very, very keep it low profile, sit inside, watch YouTube. That's me naturally. But I get more enjoyment out of being around with other people and being social. So if I choose to give in to my natural urges and say, no, I'll catch you guys another time. I have to trade. That's going to feel good in the moment. Because you know what that's doing? That's me saying, hey, I'm better than you because I'm choosing to work and I'm going to make money. That's what that's doing. I don't say those words, But internally, that's what I'm thinking, or that's what I'm feeling. And that's exactly what I used to do. But then as soon as when I wake up and I hop on those charts and I look at my phone and I see my friends, whoever, family, out at whatever event, I'm going to immediately remember, first of all, that was rude. Shouldn't have declined for something so stupid. But then I'm also going to be like, man, I really wish I was out there. Man, I really wish I was hanging out with them. And then you know what's going to make it even worse? If I take that trade and it's a loss. And there's a good chance that it's a loss, right? I mean, that's for anybody. Because now I'm going to be like, oh man, I would have saved money if I just didn't show up today. Right? Nothing I can do about it. Not saying, I should not show up. But the point is, if someone invites me to a social outing where I know I'm going to enjoy that more, and in the long run, this one trading day, even if it's a great day, isn't going to matter, I'm still going to choose to go hang out with them. That's my number one thing is social outing. The other thing is sick. If I'm sick, whether that be mentally, whether that be physically, whether that be spiritually, whatever you want to call it, if I'm sick or ill or, in any capacity you can imagine that I'm not at least 75%, we'll say, I'm not trading that day. Doesn't matter. Now, I do pretty good at making sure that I'm, going to sleep early enough and I'm not waking up late. I usually wake up at around 8. Market opens 9:30. But again, sick, family, friend, outing, whatever it may be, those are my two big ones. And I'm sure I could, there's going to be other things, but it's pretty much any time that I know I'm not going to be 100% or 75% rather at the market, or I would rather do something else, I'm not going to show up, because that's the whole point of trading. It's so that we don't have to trade. It's like the point of trading is not to be here every single day. It's to generate extra income and then enough income that we don't have to be here every day, that we can do it when we want to. It's the whole reason most of us started, right? And I'll hopefully that answers your question, man, Burbull. I'm going to turn over. I see Klebsio. He says, when I started, I was like, gotta be there and watch all day the market, or watch the market all day. But for a few months now, it's okay. I changed it, and sometimes I don't trade a few days and do different things. That's great. Again, I emphasize this. Don't make it a habit. Don't make a habit out of not showing up when you probably should. Right? There's a fine line between being lazy and taking the proper mental and physical rest days, right? But if you found that fine line, you're going to see so much more success in trading, Klebsio. The market all day. Yeah, exactly. So I see what you're saying, Klebsio. Yes, you should never be on the market all day. That's never good for anybody. It's you're not going to make any more money. Again, it goes right back to the statistic of, the more trades you place, the lower amount of results you're going to have, right? It's pretty one-to-one when it comes to higher trade frequency, lower profits. Mitigate the risk. That's all it comes down to. The less you're in the market, the less risk you would consume. And then I see Smelly Force Boy. He says, trading until I get a house, deposit every month, full-time job, never withdraw. I'd be gardening a heck of a lot more if I wasn't trading. The end goal, friends don't care about trading. Now, it's a little all over the place, but I think I understand what you're kind of saying. And yes, most people don't care about trading. It's, if you try to talk about it, a lot of people that I've tried talking about it, that they're not in the trading world, they don't get it, they don't really want to hear about it. But it's all I care about, or at least all I used to care about, so it's all I wanted to talk about. Didn't really cost me any friendships, but it just it got annoying. And looking back on it, I get it. It's like, I can imagine if somebody was really into drop shipping, just for example. I'm not into drop shipping at all. But if some guy came up to me every time we hung out and that's all he talked about, even if I really like the guy, I'm going to not want to talk to him all the time. So, got to kind of put that in the same realm. I was definitely a huge over-talker when it came to trading to people that just didn't care.
Man Bear Bull replied back after you commented, and he said, I like it, TY. Lacazette said, nice stream. And Man Bear Bull said, how long does your mental stamina last, usually before you start feeling depleted and decide to call it?
On a daily, that's a good question. On a daily scale, I've done a pretty good job at, I stop at 1:30. So every day I'm trading 9:30 to 1:30 at the most. I used to trade 9:30 to 3:30, but the days that I was trading until 3:30 took such a massive toll on me that I had to go through and do the back testing. I mean, I spent at least a month of real-time back testing, so I probably got 6 months of data just to see, hey, if I stopped my trades at 1:30 rather than 3:30, how much of a difference in profit is that going to make? And the end result was none. I think it was actually a little more. So I said, well, then that does it. I'm not going to trade past 1:30 anymore. And once I made that change, everything got easier for me, because first of all, that gave me plenty of time before I would go to my evening job to say, okay, I have enough time that I can go do something, whether it be make lunch at the shortest amount of time or go to the park and skate, right? If I had to be there till 3:30, it was a rush to throw on my clothes and drive to work to get there by 4, right? It just didn't work. So as far as daily, I trade 9:30 to 1:30. That's it. That's all I do. If you're talking about like days and days and days, like how many days in a row, I usually don't get exhausted unless there's other, outlying circumstances, such as being mentally or physically sick. So I don't really put a restraint on myself on saying, I'm only going to trade 4 days a week instead of 5. Like, I don't have an issue with that, but I can understand that some people do. If your schedule looks different from mine, and you're still, even if you're trading only till, let's say 12, you're only getting 2.5 hours of trading time in, and that's still a rush for you to go do whatever else you have to do because you're in a different time zone and the market's open at different times for you, then yeah, if you have to say, all right, I'm only going to trade 3 days a week because I want 2 days a week or 4 days a week rather, where I don't have to stress about getting my trading done and then going to work or whatever it may be, right? Then do that. That's fine. Right? You guys have to understand something. When it comes down to trading and we think in these probabilities, the market doesn't really care if you trade 5 days a week. It doesn't. If you trade 1 day a week, I mean, this may be shocking to you, but if you trade 1 day a week, it's going to work out to roughly the exact same if you trade 5 days a week. Now, the caveat with that is not in the same amount of time. So if you're trading 5 days a week for a year, yes, you're going to get far different results than if you did 1 day a week for a year. But if you do 1 day a week for 5 years, it's going to get closer to that outcome or that desired outcome, that estimated value, the EV that we talked about a couple weeks ago, right? If it's all about how many trades you have, the data, everything that involves into it or revolves around it, right? So trading 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 2 days a week, I always, as much as I, harp on trading less, I still encourage you guys to be as active as possible on a daily scale. All right, so I want to explain that because it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but if you're showing up 3 days a week instead of 5, but you could show up for 5, I would recommend you show up for 5 pretty much all the time. That's not the same as saying if you could trade from 9:30 to 4 o'clock every day, you should do that instead of 9:30 to 1:30. That's different, because showing up every day, you can think of it as a fresh reset, right? You have a fresh new mindset, you have a fresh new set of trades, the market's doing something different. But if we're trading longer today, we're going to get more tired, the market's going to lose more volume, okay? We're going to end up taking more risky trades most likely because we're more tired. These are all things that play against us. So trading more days out of the year, right, and still not over trading, is different. Oops, sorry, I got an alarm going off. Is different from having more trades daily. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. But again, this all does come down to the data. It comes down to what data you have. So when I talk about these things, I'm mostly referencing my strategy, but it's a pretty broad, blatant strategy. Like it's not too complex, I guess. It's specific enough that I don't have to make any judgment calls, but it's nothing crazy. So most of what I'm telling you guys should work for your strategies. Reality, we got anything else?
I'm not seeing anything except for Lacazette there on the Discord said I'm going to attend these more. I like it.
Good. Yeah, no, it looks like we had a pretty good turnout today. Yeah, if nobody else has anything, we'll call it there. Reality, I know you've got your giveaway. So how are we doing that?
All right, what I want you guys to do, everybody that's here, put Landon and a big W in the chat, and I'll just take your name from there. Perfect. That's what I'm looking for. And I've already put you on here, Landon. for sure.
Okay, wonderful.
And Dennis, not you. Dennis, not you. Don't you do it. You're driving. Ah, Dennis did it anyway. You didn't have to do it, Dennis. You're driving. Don't do it.
Oh, and real quick, while we have a bunch of people here, check out the newest video. Put a little bit more... Excuse me, sorry. Had a hiccup there. Trying to get more of those guys out to you. Trying to get back into the weekly schedule. I think I was backed up by a week there for a little bit, so I apologize for that. But getting back into it, one a week of just, you know, basically taking these live streams and putting them down into a short form version for you guys to go back and rewatch. That way you're not having to skip through the whole live stream with all the, you know, intermittent chitter chatter. If you haven't watched it, please go back. We have oops, sorry, hang on. Oh yeah, we almost have all 3 of the building block videos of me giving you guys a step-by-step guide. I still have to get that 3rd one out, and that should be coming up by at least this Sunday. The latest this Sunday.
Pull this wheel up. Everybody should be able to see that. Man Bear Bowl says, we'll check it out. Thanks, Landon. Everybody's name on here, guys. Make sure you're there. Well, Dennis, you didn't have to do it. Dennis is driving right now. He's tuning in and driving a big truck all at the same time. No, Lebonsky, you're on there. You're on there, Lebonsky.
You got lost in void. Yep.
Nope, no links. Yep. Make sure you all are on here. No links, just right here in this comment. We're not commenting on anything else. We're good. Oh, a link from Landon. Never mind. Yeah. They drop links, but you don't have to go Yeah, you don't have to go anywhere else to comment here. You can comment all right here. And I got everybody's name. Make sure you're all here. Stay on the road, Dennis. Man Bear Bull says. Stay on the road.
Good odds.
Looks like we have 13 guys. Is everybody's name on here? I'm gonna spin it. He's already in a ditch. I hope not. Everybody's on here, right? Dennis, don't you look. I've got you on here. Alright, I'm gonna spin it twice, guys. Here's number 1. Nishian. Stopped on you. Congratulations, man. Make sure you DM me. Again. I'm gonna go again. Just give me 1 second. Nishian's removed. Let's wait for it. Yeah, congratulations, Nishian. And here is the last spin, guys. Let's go. And Dennis, you got it and didn't wreck. Don't wreck, Dennis. Don't wreck.
There we go.
Don't wreck, Dennis. Very good, guys. Make sure each of you DM me. I'll drop you them codes as soon as you just drop me a DM and I can reply to it. Dennis, I think I got yours. I'll try to get yours. He's in a ditch for 50K. Don't say that. Don't say that. Oh my jeez. All right, guys. Very good, very good. Appreciate each and every one of you. Landon, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. Tomorrow is Full Port Friday, guys. You want to come and be part of that? We're going to full port 600K. Oh, Delta wasn't.
Perfect.
Delta wasn't in there. It's already done, Delta. Sorry. You never commented
All right,
before now. All right, Landon. Have a good one. Full port. We're going to full port during the live stream tomorrow. Sorry, Delta. They're all gone. We've got all our winners. All right, guys. Congratulations to all the winners. Have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you guys tomorrow for Full Port Friday. Appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, guys, stay consistent out there.